Hey, I'm John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty. I'm going to try to give you the August 2018 market report for Lake Martin Real Estate. Here's my logo. My website is lakemartinvoice.com. My handle is at Lake Martin Voice. And this poor piece of paper has been used 3 or 4 times, and so it's probably about dead. I like to save money. All right, so let's get right to it for August home sales on Lake Martin. Now, when I'm giving you all these stats, these are for all agents, all brokerages, the entire Lake Martin area, done through our Lake Martin MLS. And so we can see in 2017, 37 homes were sold in the month of August. Compare that to 2018, where 36 homes were sold. And so we haven't lost to the prior year this month, which is a good thing. Our 5-year average, I like to look at that. Our 5-year average is about 35 homes sold in August. So we're right at our 5-year average, which is surprising because so far this year, we've been losing to the prior year, and we'll see that next on this next slide. There goes another one. All right, so far this year, this stat looks at year-to-date sales. And so we add in all the monthly sales, all up, and so in 2018, so far we've had 213 sales in this calendar year. We compare that to 255 in 2017, and we can see that we're losing to the prior year. We're not selling as many homes, as we're about 17% down when we compare to 2017. Now, is that something to be nervous about? I don't know. We don't have enough information yet. So I thought we'd look at several more years just to give you some comparison. This is 16, 15, and 14. These are all August year-to-date numbers. In 2016, we're about at the same spot we are now. We're about 216 sales. In 2015, that's my wife coughing. She's trying not to cough. We had about 245 sales. And then in 14, 203. Now, the interesting thing to me is that in 2015, up to this point, 2015 was the best year ever. And so you see where we came up in 2015, we went down in 16, which I was thinking, uh-oh, are we headed back down again? Well, no, that was just a little dip because we launched back up into 17. And I think 2017 was the best year ever for Lake Martin real estate sales. So, yes, we're 17% down to the prior year. But does that mean we're just second place to the best year ever? Does that mean we're headed back down? You know, I don't really know. We're probably not going to really know for another 18 months because we just need more data. I think my prediction is I think we're going to end up selling about as many as we did in 16. So that means that we're on track to sell again, this is all agents, all brokerages, everybody, about 300 waterfront homes in the calendar year of 2018. And so if we're at 213 now, we're probably going to close about 36 in September. So I think we're having about 80 more homes to sell this year. Subtract out 36 from September, that leaves maybe 25 in October, 15 in November, 10 in December. So we better get at it, but we think, at least that's what I think is going to happen. Because it's tracking like that. But you know, the big question to me is, have we peaked? And again, we don't know, but I tend to also, just because I do this every day for a living and I'm in the business, I tend to use some other gut level anecdotal type of data. As much as I am a numbers guy, I go on my gut a lot of times too. And so one thing I've noticed is we're about at the peak number of agents in our association. And that's not surprising. In an industry like real estate, especially with a low barrier of entry, it's not surprising when we're in a bull market for a lot of new people to rush in the profession, a lot of new agents, a lot of agents from other places. That's fine, that's understandable, but I'm just pointing out that we're at about, I think, pretty much a high, maybe 150 agents in our tiny, tiny little association. Because when you're selling 300 houses per year and 150 agents are going after those 300 houses, that's 2 to 1, even I can do that math. 2 home sales for every 1 agent. In larger places, you know, in your market, you know, it might be 10 sales to 1 agent, 15 sales to 1 agent, 7 sales to 1 agent. At Lake Martin, it's 2 home sales for 1 agent. It's pretty tight, pretty competitive. Let's see here. All right, lot sales. Here are the lot sales. I'm just going to do these year to date because waterfront lot sales are also something we key in and watch. So far right now in 2018, we've sold 49 lots. Again, this is all agents, all brokerages, everybody. 49 lots. In 17, we only sold 44. Interestingly enough, we tied with 16, so we're up about 10% from what I think is the best year ever. It wasn't the best year ever for lot sales, but it was still a pretty doggone good year. We're up 10% there. So in 2015, when I drew out this graph, I found 2015 was really interesting, and it was too late because I already drew it out. But in 2015, we sold 67 lots through August, and so that was a pretty high amount. So we're not even anywhere near our best year ever for lots, which I think was 2015. Another interesting thing that I poked around about and found about lot sales when I was looking at this stuff up, I looked at the last 12 months of sales, which I'll call the rolling 12 months of sales. 8 months of this year, 4 months of 17. And I wanted to ask myself, how many agents, because I keep on talking about what a small market we are, small agents and all that stuff. How many agents sold all these lots? And I kind of wondered, like, is it that 80-20 rule, you know, that little cliche everybody throws around? It's a cliche because it's true, I guess, that, you know, 20% of the, I don't know, 20% of the something causes 8% of the other something. You know, that little Pareto's rule, I think it is. So does that hold for Lake Martin waterfront lot sales for the last 12 months? Well, let's see. What I found was in the last 12 months, 63 lots have been sold all over the lake by all agents. And if you look, 48 of those lots were sold by the same 14 agents. And so I did the math. That's 76% of the lots were sold by 10% of the agents on Lake Martin, or 14 of them. So if you throw a rock and hit an agent at Lake Martin, there's a 90% chance, okay, that they're not selling 76% of the lots. 10% chance they are. I say all that, of course, because I'm trying to keep these lights on at night. If you need help buying something or selling anything at Lake Martin, I would love to help you out. I'm not going to call out the 10% here. I do think it'd be kind of interesting. Next month, I think I'm going to look and see if this applies to home sales. So please tune in next month. But if I can help you, please give me a call. I'm John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty. I sell all over the lake. I sell homes, and I sell lots and condos. I sell real estate at Lake Martin. Thanks.